going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to tell you how I was able to pull off, finally, buying my dream car, the Rolls Royce Cullinan. Got a pretty nice orange blue interior, blue on the outside, but we're going to go ahead and go through how I got this. Let's go. So the first important piece here on kind of me coming into this vehicle, we did have a previous one. We had a 2015 Lamborghini Huracan, right? Got a bad back, can't really sit in it, get in and out of it as much, right? Fun car, nothing wrong with it, just this is just more me. To get to this point, right? So there have been a lot of failures, and failures are okay. The one thing that I learned over the years with the failures is not to give up on myself too early, and to solve the problems one at a time as they happen. Those two things were the difference, right? The one additional piece of advice that I got that really made a big difference to this as well was just start, right? You can evaluate a problem over and over and over and over again. You can look at a new opportunity, but once you just start, then you don't give up on yourself. And finally, you solve your problems one at a time, things start falling like dominoes, right? It gives you clear focus on the problem. Right? So I started a lot of where other people have as well, right? Dropshipping, affiliate marketing. I didn't really get too much into Amazon FBA, but it was on the list. The dropshipping is probably where I started the earliest, right? So I started a few different brands, right? I'm not going to go into them here. A lot of them has sold under NDAs, all that great stuff, right? So it wasn't the easiest business model, right? People talk about it, be like, yep, drop shipping's amazing, $10,000, $20,000, whatever. There's another video on my channel if you want to look at it, or we'll link it somewhere, that shows doing like $30,000, $40,000 in the first 3 months, right? You can have some success, but that doesn't come without spending money, right? And some people want to come into this and go, okay, I'm going to do $100, right? $500, $1,000, right? Sometimes really truly getting the thing off the ground costs way more than you expect, right? If you want to run good ads, get a good ROI, and kind of kickstart a product really hard to see if it's going to work well for you, you might spend $1,000, right? Between everything, the website, depending on what you're good and not good at, right? So when it comes to that, I started a few drop shipping stores. Some had some success, some failed, right? One was sold, great. I think it sold for, I don't know, 15, 20,000, which was fine, right? It built it from nothing, and I think I probably put $500 into it. So it's a good ROI from that perspective, but it had a lot of failures, right? From there, I started to get into more affiliate marketing. I found out that with affiliate marketing, if you're not a good content writer, you don't do a lot of reviews, you kind of fall in this weird area where you kind of need that expertise, right? And honest to God, I don't have the expertise as a good writer. I don't. Not enough to engage readers at that level and be able to move forward. So there's some times where I've given it a try. When you start getting to search engine optimization and SEO, that plays a huge factor in affiliate marketing, right? So with that in mind, it wasn't my forte, it just didn't click for me. So what did click for me was software companies, right? Not talking buy them. You can absolutely buy them, and that I got a whole video on that too. Link will be in the description. But the goal for me was I enjoyed building the services because it allowed me to prototype things really quickly, right? I learned how to develop things. Again, there's thousands and millions of courses on that alone. But at the same time you don't have to be a developer to understand how to pull this off, right? It's not as big of a thing as people think. Basically, once you've gotten your starting point out of, let's say, you spend 6 months, right, building a full stack application that gets you your baseline, right? It has the ability to log in, you have the ability to add pages, password resets, you understand the fundamentals, and you've got everything more or less in place. So it's basically like an empty application, right? Homepage, pricing page, subscriptions work, all that great stuff, right? Once you've got that baseline forever, right? You might have to update it occasionally because there's security issues from time to time in stuff that you're using, but essentially you're updating as you go and adding new features. So as you develop and add a new feature and you think this can be more universal, like a messaging system, a notification system, things like that. You can add that to the system that you already built and start moving on, right? So for me, I can basically rapidly prototype as long as the product itself is not super complicated. Like when I started getting into AI companies and you start getting into machine learning and how to build and train models and understanding that route, that's super complicated, right? It's not easy. I am not good at it, but you partner with people that are. You help them out, you split it down the middle, right? Could be 80-20, could be 50-50, just depends on how you want to go about the business model. But that's really where the success started to kick in, is I was able to rapidly build out different companies from scratch using the same template, changing some stuff around, building the product in place. Everything already works. You kick it out there and you launch it the same way I talked about in some of my other videos, right? Do your due diligence, let up your beta testing. So one of the most recent ones that we did, where we put up a beta page, and within a month we had 22,000 people sign up for the email list. So that means when we launched a month and a half later, we have 22,000 people that we can immediately email saying it's open, come try it out, right? And that makes a huge difference when you're able to launch to 22,000 people, 10,000 people, even 5,000 people, even 100 people, right? To launch your company and your software with 100 people at least, that start off with, yes, I've already liked this thing, I like what you're going to do, let's move forward with it. It changes how you launch. I will not launch any other way. I will do beta launches every single time. I don't care if it's physical product, I don't care if it's software, I will launch a beta every single time just because of this. It takes so much guesswork out of it. It gives you an initial launch. If you do subscription services, it gets you that initial revenue to start pushing it towards the next thing, right? I've also tried the gaming side of the house too, right? So I've tried building Roblox games at one point. Did not go so well with that one. That is a whole different skill set and mindset that you got to go into. I've tried idle games on web interfaces similar to the SaaS and software companies, using that same template, migrating it over and doing idle games from there. Some success there, but again, it's what I've really been able to 10, 15, 20x has been the software companies, right? It's just, for me, if I can stress this any other way, what got me to this point is focusing on one thing, not giving up, and solving my problems one at a time. Don't try to do 12 different projects at the same time. Do your due diligence. Make sure your marketing is right. Make sure your beta test page is set. You've proven market fit. Get a basic MVP out. Again, I went over this in more detail in a previous video, but following those steps is what got me here, right? I am 31, 32 coming up this year in 2024, right? It's possible, right? I didn't really start kicking into gear with this until, I don't know, I was 26, 25. And that's really when I started to take it more seriously, focused on one project, really kind of sat down. And it sounds like it's a long time, sure, but I could have bought this car 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I decided to wait. I do have a rule for myself on percentage of income versus car payment and all that great stuff, but like, that's the key, is making sure you don't overshoot your means, right? That has helped dramatically. Don't let lifestyle inflation happen just because, your company does well, right? Because your company might start off and go, okay, and now you're making $5,000 a month extra, 10,000, 20, 30, 40, 50. Maybe you're at $100,000 a month extra, right? That might not last. So don't let yourself creep up until you're sure that what you're doing is stable. That's enough of that. That's what kind of got me the Rolls Royce Cullinan. If you guys want to know any more about it, hit up some other videos. If not, throw a comment in the description and we'll go from there. See you guys.